Next up is Wallingford Head. Bit of a long course at 4.5k and it's got some pretty tough corners in it. Let's get into it. Wallingford's pretty simple compared to a Hampton on the way up, because it's just the same course. We just paddle up in reverse. There are only 2 divisions, so it's really simple. We just boat straight down past Oxford University, underneath the bypass, past Carmel College, past Oxford Brooks, through the S-bends, making sure we stay to the right hand side of the river through the S-bends in case there are any other crews coming down, past Chelsea Ferry, past Brunel Rail Bridge, and then moving into the marshalling area. Then we're going to paddle through the Brunel Rail Bridge at low rate, through the really tight bit of the river. This section down here where all the launches are and just before the start line can be really tight, and you want to make sure that your bow guy in an 8 is really looking around, just checking that there are no other boats coming towards you or any power boats speeding towards you. As you come out of that corner, we want to start winding up, finding our solid pace and settling into it. Hit the start line hard, moving through into a solid right-hander straight out of that. Past Chelsea Ferry with 4,000 metres to go. Another bit of a straight, then moving into the S-bends. The S-bends are quite clearly the hardest part of this course. Update on the S-bends about a day later. I've spoken to Harry Brightmore, who was the cox of the Brooks Ladies 8 last year, and we've just gone over how to steer the S-bends properly. I'll pop up a big map in front of you. So the buoys are about halfway between each side of the river. The rules are that the blades are allowed to cross over the buoys, but the hull at no point is allowed to cross over the buoy line. The recommendation is that the hull is as close to the buoy line as possible and the blades are fully over on stroke side. We want to be able to cut the corners as much as possible and then move straight back over to the right hand side on the way out of the corner. The corners are really tight and it's going to be really tough to get around it if you try and keep your blades inside the buoy lines, as some of the other crews will do. We don't want to overdo the corner and cut the buoy line and risk getting a time penalty. We don't want to undo the corner and end up hitting a tree like St Paul's Girls' School did. Coming out of the S-bends, we're moving on to 3,000 metres to go as we approach the Brook Strait. Brook Strait is pretty simple, straight course for about 1,000 metres with the Oxford Brooks Boathouse on the cox's left hand side, floating pontoons with some metal poles sticking out of the water. As you pass Oxford Brooks Boathouse, as you approach the very last pontoon, it's 2,000 metres to go to the end of the course. The right hander coming out of Brooks is a lot tighter than it seems, and then we're moving towards Carmel College. Carmel College is a dilapidated boathouse on the cox's right hand side before the big overpass. Past Carmel College and just before the overpass we start hitting the 1,000 metres to go mark. As we come out of there, we're moving into the last 1,000 metres of the Oxford University Boat Club finish straight. We've got a slight right hand corner where some launches are on the cox's left hand side. We want to make sure we take that corner nice and tight. Moving on to the nice long bend, no big corners on this one. To pass Oxford University Boat Club, we've got less than 100 metres to go, and then on the other end of the boathouse is the finish line. At the finish we want to wind down, make sure that the crew keeps moving. We've got lots of crews behind us and in front of us. Just make sure that we sort out the S-bends and the really tight bit of river. You can mostly focus on that on the way up to the start. As you paddle through it, just go through the race plan in your head a little bit. Any other questions? Email address is down below. I'm going to also link this map and any more competitors information such as the draw and the safety guides below in a Dropbox link.